If we chose not to record every time I was in a bad mood, then I don't think we'd ever get this done.
Yes, we wouldn't have anything up.
No. Hi.
Hi. I'm excited.
Welcome to E1 of Wine Slut Meets the Bachelor.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, you want to dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in. I thought I would love to know, when did you start watching The Bachelor? Did you start
with you?
Well, not with me. Just did you? Oh, so it was with me
when I was living with you. When we lived together on New Hampshire in Koreatown, and I think one of the Koreatown adjacent.
Yes.
I think one of the first episodes I ever saw was there a Bachelor. His name was Bob.
Well, there was a Bob, but that was a long time ago.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that was when he was with. There was a Bob. He was a contestant, and then he ended up being the Bachelor, and he was with somebody who I think was on a soap opera or something.
Yeah, he ended up marrying some C-level celebrity or something.
Yeah. Oh, so we started watching it then together?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Okay. And then we both stopped. I stopped watching it. I missed a few seasons. I didn't watch Jesse's season.
No, I didn't watch Jesse's season either. Yeah.
And there was a guy named Lorenzo, I think. There was a few, and I didn't watch Allie. I didn't watch her season. And then got back in on it. And then you started coming over, and we started watching on Mondays. And then my husband would always flip me a lot of shit for watching it. And he slowly would be walking by, and he'd go, "Oh, that person's still on it? Oh, what? Wait, what happened?" So then you and Peter started coming over on Mondays, and we would make ginger margaritas and have to have the captions on because we talked so much through it. And just laughed our asses off. And still, to me, the best viewing is when the four of us are together.
Yeah, I totally agree. We don't actually end up watching it a lot, but it's the most fun. I want to look back. We'll do this for next time and see maybe when that started, to see like when I can remember what season I watched.
I watched the first season for sure with that guy Alan. I watched the second season with Tristan, or the Bachelorette. So I guess that was the first Bachelorette season. So way back, and I think Chris thought I watched it because it was, I don't know, some kind of beautiful romantic kind of thing. And it was like, no, it's just so much fun to bag on everybody.
All right. Well, that takes us into season 29, I think, with Grant.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just want to ask you your initial thoughts on this season, just like overall, like how you felt about this episode, how you think this season's going to go.
Well, I love Grant. I loved him in Jen's season. I think he is adorable. I think he is self-aware. The lone wolf thing, I'm like, lone wolf, that could be a red flag.
Like the tattoo, the commitment. What?
I like the tattoo.
No, not that the tattoo's bad. I don't have an opinion on that, but that he's so committed to the lone wolf.
Oh, the wolf tattoo. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did you think I was talking about?
I thought you were just talking about just him having a tattoo.
No, but he's so committed to being a lone wolf that he had one tattooed on him. Like that doesn't bode well for the future with him for me.
Right. There's that. I guess, yes, that's not great. I think he's aware. Hopefully he's willing to give up the lone wolf, because it's not just meeting the right person, right? You have to be ready for that kind of intimacy to give up that kind of perspective. You know what I did like? Did you notice that all the women they're older, which it's all relative, but there's just a couple, maybe one or two 25-year-olds, or maybe I think I have one.
Yeah, she got ousted. Peter reminded me that we were walking the dogs this morning. And so that was...
Healthy?
Christina is 26. She was from Fargo.
There's a few 26-year-olds, but
yes,
a handful of 26-year-olds.
But that's the youngest. I don't see anyone below 26.
No, I thought there was one 25-year-old, but maybe not. But yes, there's a few
Oh,
26-year-olds.
Ella. She's a travel host. She stayed.
Okay, yes, and Kelsey's gone. She's 26, the one who wore the basketball jersey. I thought she was adorable. I can't believe she already went home.
Yeah, but she was
But
from Brooklyn.
yeah.
Yes.
And then there was the 25, yes, Ella, luxury host. What the fuck does luxury host mean
I,
for profession? What is that?
I don't know. It's a bit like an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think there needs to be more explanation that goes on with some of these jobs of any of these. Not any of the women. These women. There was only one that seems to be the social media manager, which was Bailey.
Yeah, she's my least favorite, Bailey.
Yes, she's also my least favorite. She also lets everyone know up front that I'm an acquired taste, which just means she's going to be difficult, which is maybe great. It makes for good TV. Let's hope.
It makes good for TV, but yeah, when she came out of the limo, to me it was the worst entrance, really. One of the top. When she comes out and she asks to take a photo and she's like, "No, of me." It's like, okay. And she's on her phone 24/7. And what'd she say? Social media manager?
Manager?
It's like influencer. Is that what she's trying to give herself a new title by saying it's I don't know.
I mean, she could work for the Gap managing their social media. Like that could be what she means by social media manager. But did she also say she was an influencer?
Well, she said she's on there 24/7. She said people
Okay.
love to see her, what she's doing, what she's wearing. Her future husband has to know her best angles. That to me was such a turnoff.
But
I
she
could not be
stayed.
with somebody. She stayed. She stayed. She had a cute dress, but that to me was one of the worst. That, and you know what? I love Bollywood dancing. Love. But was it Radhika, when she came out and was doing that dance, it's like, okay, I've seen much better Bollywood dancing than that. And that was a little, ooh. That was
Well, Radhika doesn't stay with us. So
no,
maybe that was
no.
part of what happened there.
Those were not some good moves.
Yeah. I want to say that one of the things that I really liked when they introduced Grant, they had him come out to "What a Man, What a Man, What," I think that's on Vogue, right? It was good. I kind of liked that whole thing. My feeling about Grant, first of all, there's two things about him. Does he actually drive a Ferrari?
I think it does.
But then he's got an Acura
Yes.
as his everyday car.
I couldn't tell because they made a point. Oh, he drives a Ferrari. We all know that they give him cars that they don't actually drive in these
Right.
apartments and whatever where they're staying. But the fact that they made that such a point, and they talk about that he's doing really well and he's a day trader, I was like, well, maybe he really does have a Ferrari at home as well as the Acura. Can't tell.
I always think, God, you got a Ferrari. He's got to pay insurance on the Ferrari. And then he's got an Acura. He's got to pay insurance on the Acura. Like that's a lot of expenses. That would be a bit of a, make sure that before I dove into that he could afford his life. The other thing is I know, like, I like Grant. I loved him on Gin's season. They've done some PR coaching, and I feel like they've done PR coaching because Jesse asked him, I forget how this went, but how are you going to handle this? And he starts with, I'm going to treat each woman as an individual. And then he gives a rose to his grandmother. I just thought it was a little over the top. And then I wrote down exactly what he said when he comes in and he talks to the women. Once all the women come out of the limbo and they've been introduced, and before he has his individual sessions with them, he says, "What does love mean to you?" This is a quote, because I went back and watched it this morning. "Love is the little things. A flower when you walk in the door, a kiss, a hug, a conversation when you've had a long day at work. And something that I really appreciate is a woman's strength." Now, this last bit, something I appreciate is a woman's strength, has nothing to do with what love means to you. And so it was kind of like a thing that was thrown in. I hate the term strong woman. And I hate, she's a strong, independent woman, because that's redundant. When you say woman, it implies strong and independent in the vast majority of women, right? Where like, it just irritated me that I felt like he was trying to say all the right things. And also, I want to ask you, because I asked Peter this morning, what is love to you? And part of what love is to me, it's like you both eat cabbage for dinner and then you go to bed and fart under the covers and everyone laughs and forgives each other. And maybe you even have sex afterwards. Like, that's love, right? Or what?
Or even during, I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes, well, in your 50s, sometimes that happens. It just sneaks out. But, you know, if Grant asked you that question, like, how do you even answer that at 30 or 25? But, I mean, what is left to you now?
Oh, love to me now. Okay, so I will go back to when I officiated your wedding.
Mm,
Mm.
yes.
And I said, love is not who you can't live without. It's who you choose to live with every day. And you choose it every day, even though there's days where you might go, when it's people say, "Oh, I can't live without you," and once you get married, you definitely have days where like, I could definitely live without you, without a fucking doubt. And I'm sorry, anybody who's married has those moments of, yeah, I could use a little bit less of you today. I mean, I've had days with my husband where I'm like, I love you more than when we got married, and then 2 days later, he's bugging the shit out of me, and he says, "Do you still love me more than yesterday?" I'm like, maybe not.
Tough call.
A little less today.
Yeah, a little
We
less.
laugh about it. So I think for me, laughter is the most important thing. Someone you can laugh at and be truthful with, and that you just choose them every day. It's not what you see in the movies, right?
You've been married 15 years. I've been married, whatever. We've been 16, same amount of time, basically.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have to do is I've just learned my husband, and I've learned when he does stuff that really annoys me, I just walk away. I don't even comment on it anymore. Sometimes I watch these shows and I just go, oh my God, they have no idea what they're in for. They have no idea of the petty, silly stuff that you have to deal with every day.
But it's true. And so that's why you have to have, to me, one of the most important things is someone who makes you laugh. And someone that you can be really truthful with, and you still love each other, and you still show up, and you work through it. And yeah, there's times where it's not just a bad day, it could be a bad month, right? It's
Year.
just, yeah, year. I think a great marriage is somebody where you're not the up and down, up and down, up and down, that it's just more like consistent. So it's just being truthful, but not trying to lose your shit over the little things, and accepting people for who they are, and loving them anyways, and showing up anyways, and pushing through it, and pushing through the bad day, week, month, year, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, and kind of in some ways realizing how everything in your past is kind of influencing your behavior now. And I bring this up because we meet Grant's father.
Yeah.
He said his father had addiction issues. He said, oh, sorry, I kind of laughed out loud when he said this. He goes, my parents got divorced when I was in college and it was really rough. And I was like, was it? I know that it's tough whenever your parents separate. My mom's been divorced twice, and I don't know what's happening with the third one. I'm sure it's going fine. I'm joking. The third one's been the longest one, but there is something.
How long is
Since I was 24, so 20. Oh my God, 27, 8 years, long time. But the dad says something which I thought was really interesting. The father speaks to him and says, "I want you to remember the things that your family went through, and so basically make it better. But I wanted to say the family went through those things because of you, father," right? It pissed me off. And I think maybe it's because of my past, but the dad also says, I want you to be a better father than me, and you will be. But it seems like the bar is pretty low.
Right.
His dad, I'm like, did the dad come back in because suddenly his son is on The Bachelor?
Well, it sounds like he got sober.
Right.
So I think it's because he got sober. That's the way I took. I mean, it was interesting that to me that his parents were married for 30 years. They were married for 30 years. He had addiction for 30 years. You wonder, okay, well, that was their entire marriage then, and how long?
Yeah.
I think it seems like he's somewhat recently sober. It would be a chunk of the marriage that he had addiction issues.
For sure.
For sure. And that's a lot. I wonder if he's been to therapy. I think everyone should have a little therapy. So I wonder if he's
Yes.
gone to therapy at all for that. The lone wolf.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hear more about it.
They need
So,
Logan from the later daters,
oh my God, they need Logan on this show.
right?
They need Logan coaching them. Yes, I agree.
I really do think sometimes they just need someone like that to pop in for a second
Yes.
and check in with some of these people. Although maybe it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as dramatic. I don't know. But it seems like it would be healthy.
Yeah, I totally agree. You brought up drama. Speaking of drama, one of the women brings in a llama. I'm sorry, I can't
Yeah.
remember who it is off the top of my head
Alex.
right now. Alex with an E. Some of these women, the name, there's the way that, I mean, the spellings are just so, Chloe with an extra I didn't even quite know how to pronounce it at first. I was like, how do I deal with the, with the I? But, there was no drama this episode. I want to call this the drama llama, the most dramatic moment, right, that we have per episode, but I didn't think there was one. Was there any drama in this episode for you?
No, there was no drama. And also what I noticed, there wasn't many backstories of the women. I mean, sometimes they even have a whole episode before they meet of just who the people are. They really didn't tell many backstories at all. But can we go back to one? Okay, so we talk about entrances. What's her name? Leticia?
Lydia.
Lydia. That fucking glitter lotion. I am
Okay.
so over the overuse of glitter lotion. It's I just bad.
Couldn't tell if she was the best dressed there or the worst dressed, but my
It was
note
glitter
on
lotion.
her was lots of body glitter. I wrote, it's hard to tell where her body ends and the dress begins. That's how much body glitter. She actually, a lot of them had it on. I noticed. I thought that this was some of the worst fashion I've seen in modern first night Bachelor. So many sequins and so many big sequins. And then the slip dress seems to be back. I'm sorry. I hate the slip dress. Rose was the only one who kind of got away with it. And I liked her entrance the best when she said, "Will you accept this, Rose?" But that kind of seafoam dress that wasn't like drapey. The scarf around the neck, the thin, skinny, useless scarf. I looked this up. I was like, this was a fashion at some point. So I looked it up. Vogue has a whole article, and I'll post it here. Kate Moss, I guess, sort of was the instigator of this thin, skinny scarf that's completely useless. But did you notice how many of them had it around their neck?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It was popular between 2003 and 2007.
Huh. So it's not even the 90s. So we can't
No,
blame it.
it's an early aughts thing.
Interesting. Yes, I did notice that. There was that Christina, she's gone. She looked Scandinavian or something.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just her dress was really ill-fitted. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
have slip dress bad with
Yeah.
Christine.
I liked Rose's entrance a lot. I have to say, I actually liked the Las Vegas, what was her name? The Las Vegas server when she had the lit up marquee that she drove in on the convertible. I thought that was a cute entrance.
Yeah, that was really cute. Vicky was her
Yeah.
name.
I liked her entrance, and then I liked Serafina when she had the big head of Grant. I thought that was cute. And then I liked Zoe t-shirt gun. I thought that was
Yeah. I thought that was a great one.
idea. I thought that was really, really, really cute idea.
She was channeling Mermaid a little bit with that green dress. I thought for kind of my best dressed Juliana, she had it was like a black sequin dress, but it was really kind of classy. But I thought the white nails might be giving you the heebies.
Yeah, I not as bad as the French manicured toes. It's but yeah, I wasn't loving the white nails especially with that dress. I wasn't loving
What did
that.
you think of Alicia's dress? Alicia seems to me to be, we'll talk about who we think our top runners are here, but she's an interior designer from Tampa, and she had a white dress. It was like with a braided belt. It almost looked, like a toga, but it suited her. I thought it looked really nice on her.
Yeah, she looked good. I just kept thinking veneers.
Yeah, I know. I wrote the same thing. I wrote her teeth are perfect. Veneers is what I wrote after it. That's fine. She can have veneers.
She can
She's
have
allowed.
veneers.
Who knows what her teeth looked like
when
before?
they're a little when they're a little too big for their mouth, though.
Yeah.
I think it's distracting.
Yeah, and my teeth are too big for my mouth, and they're normal. They're not veneers, but they're still way too big for my mouth.
I think Halle Berry probably has veneers, and I think hers are perfect.
Yeah, she looks great.
They fit her. I mean, obviously she's
Halle Berry.
and Halle Berry. But so many actresses have them, and when you notice them so much, it's like, ugh, I don't like that look. Hers are good. She has good veneers. If she has veneers, I'm thinking she does.
All right, next, were there any what we're gonna call make it stop moments, like cringe-worthy moments for you? I have a couple. Did you have any cringe moments?
Well, yeah, I think I already named them. They were the Bollywood dance
Yes, okay.
and Bailey saying no photos of me. I think those were the two biggest, like, ugh, cringy. When they were all talking, there was nothing really cringy. Nobody seemed, yet at least, to be stepping on too many people's toes and being the person, I'm going to go talk to him again, where it's way too much. I wasn't loving Parisa. I don't know. Wasn't loving her. But yeah, not for me. How about you?
Yeah, so I had Parisa written down because she has
Oh, the PowerPoint. Sorry.
the
Yes.
PowerPoint. She's really into crystals, which is its own challenging thing. But also, she made a PowerPoint of her and Grant. Well, she did AI pictures of them in the PowerPoint. So everyone looks a little weird and awkward, but they go from meeting to then she's at a wedding and then she's pregnant and then there's 4 children and then she's so looking forward to having babies. And I don't maybe this is okay. She's putting it out there to say who she is and where she is. And it was kind of a bold move, but I don't know that it's the right move for night 1.
Yeah, some of them, I mean, obviously they're on The Bachelor. Obviously they want to get married and have kids, right? Or they want to increase their social media. It's one or the other, or both. And so I don't think you have to lay it on so thick.
There was another woman who said this phrase, and I didn't write down who it was. She's talking about, I don't know, girls getting time with other girls. And she says this phrase that she hopes no one gets jealous or something, because she says, how girls are. And it perpetuates the stereotype that girls are catty and emotional when we have seen the men. I mean, look at what was on Jen's season. Who won again? What was his name? Oh, I mean, Devin. I mean, he was, all the guys are just as bad. Yeah. So when you go and you say, oh, us girls, we're so emotional and jealous and catty, it perpetuates a stereotype that I fucking hate. It really annoys me. And one more thing, when some of the women get sent home, I think it goes down to 18 women from 25. 7 women get sent home. 7. And
oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote it all down. I did some counting here. But the women who stayed were saying to the women who left, love you so much, love you. And there's just something about that also feels insincere. It's okay to say goodbye to people that you've known for 7 hours and you don't have to say I love you. Right. I know that this is a petty, silly thing, but I was like, that's annoying. Sorry.
No, I love it. I love it. Yes. And then they do the same thing with the guys when they're just losing their shit over someone they met and talked to for maybe 10 minutes. And they're just, but it's the idea of it. Obviously, it's not that person because they've known him for 10 minutes and they have an idea of who he is. And,
right.
And what it all stands for and what they're hoping the outcome will be. And so they're crying about that, really not so much of, this guy. And so I think the love you thing is the same thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more thing, and that's that Grant does not seem to know the plural of woman. He keeps saying these women that are here. He said woman when he meant women 5 times. I don't know. Peter and I kept looking at each other like, did he just say woman when he was like, I like these women? I just want a producer to say, just tell him what the plural is. That's all. He just has to say women. Yeah, it's a little funny thing that I noticed. Juliana, they sit down and she's the one that plays the piano. Mm-hmm. I guess I forgot that Grant is a singer of some sort. Is that right? I have a feeling we're going to see him.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. I don't remember that.
He was like, Juliana is so talented. I thought maybe a little pitchy on the piano. She also says that she loves to do car karaoke with her family. And then they cut to her doing car karaoke. And the car karaoke is, if you're happy and you know it.
Well, clap your hands. Yes.
You sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Like, is this what your car karaoke is? I just thought it was super funny.
Yeah, that was cute. Funny, cute. And then also basketball player. So I looked it up. It looked like he played internationally. And I don't remember if it was an injury or what happened. But yeah, I think it was injury, right? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. The other thing Grant said that I thought was funny was he said, this journey is going to take a lot of emotion and a lot of feelings. And I thought it was just a funny thing to say. Well, yes, when you're seeking your wife, I guess feelings and emotions will be involved.
And then I just read an article, it was not reputable. It might have been BuzzFeed. And it was saying some of the do's and don'ts of being on The Bachelor. And one of it is they're not allowed to say process, according to this article. If they say, something about the process, they will stop it and make them say journey, because God knows they do say journey all the time.
All the time. Oh, that's really interesting.
Right? Maybe it's a legit article because you never hear anybody say process. It's always journey.
That's so funny because it definitely is a process.
Clarity is one of the buzzwords. I need more clarity. Journey. What else?
Oh, good. Will you do a little research on that? And then with the next one, come back to all the things that there's like the words that they're supposed to say. That would be fun.
Journey was the only word, but
okay.
I'm wondering that they also do say the word clarity all the time. One time we were watching, I'm like, okay, every time someone says clarity, let's do a shot.
You're super drunk by the end of the night?
Yeah. Journey or clarity, do a shot.
There's one other thing that I thought was really funny that Janae says. Janae turns at one point and says to another woman, like, this is so crazy. There are 25 women here dating the same men. That's the whole premise of the show.
Yep.
To say, just like,
I've never seen it. And you know what? I wrote down everybody, and I think I only wrote down 24. And I was like, well, some poor bastard. Oh, Beverly. I was missing Beverly, and she got sent home.
Yes.
So there was that. So I was surprised Kylie got sent home because she, to me, was so adorable and such a cute little entrance. And I was surprised Janae went as well. Was there anyone that you were surprised that went home the first night?
Not really. I mean, because I'm not invested in anyone right now. I actually felt like he had no chemistry with Christina. I thought for sure that she was going home. But the others, I just didn't really get a good sense of. I was really surprised that he waited until the second to last rose to give to Alicia.
I always think that's a producer thing. I feel like they do that on purpose to make you like, oh, wait, Alicia didn't get... No?
Well, I want to add that on as a category in the future, the they made me do it category. So if you feel like that there's any producer manipulated moments, and I do think they made her wait. Oh, I know that there's one moment in here that I felt like was a little bit not producer manipulated, but they definitely wanted you to think it was more than what it was. That's when Jesse comes in and says the first impression rose means more than it ever has. And you can't even imagine the benefits of getting this first impression rose. And it just turns out that the person gets the first date. That's it. It's nothing.
It's nothing, but devil's advocate, I will say there's been quite a few people who've gotten the first impression rose and they end up going on one of the last dates. And it's almost like it can be a great sign, or actually it can work to their deficit, because they feel like, oh yeah, I know I have a great connection with that person. And then they don't go on a date forever. That happened to April, who's now married to Noah from the Bachelor in Paradise. I forget who the Bachelor was, but he picked her, and then I don't know if they even ever went on a one-on-one date. So I kind of liked it, even though they made it out to be a big thing. So when I started watching it, I will say, for some reason, it didn't start recording on my YouTube TV. So, and it wouldn't let me go back.
You had problems with recording? Shocking.
Ha 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 ha. So, when I started originally when Zoe did the t-shirts, and then I was able to watch the first half the next day. So when they say, oh, someone's here, who could it be? And this one walks in and they won't show who it is. And I'm like, well, it's going to be a sister. I mean, first of all,
there was no doubt.
He's super tall.
Yes.
I mean, hello. Okay. That was, I think, kind of badly produced and stupid. And you would think anybody walking through would know that. But how beautiful is she? His sister.
She's gorgeous, and she was prepared for this moment. She was very put together. She knew what she was going to say. She was like, I'm going to be on TV and I'm going to look hot and make the best of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she seemed very pulled together, and yeah, she's stunning. Stunning. So
that said, we're also going to have a section called the bathroom break moments, the most boring parts of the episode. The most boring part of this episode was looking at his baby pictures. I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to see his baby pictures. My mother-in-law passed away, and we went to her house in Chicago and got all Peter's old childhood pictures. I don't have any interest in looking at any baby pics. I just don't. Like, what would I do with those? Because this is what happened. She would pull up a picture and they would go, "Ah," and then another one. It's like, "Ah," and by the 20th one, you're like, "All right, we get it." What other reaction are the women supposed to have? So that was my bathroom break moment. Did you have
my bathroom break moment? His sister was beautiful, but I don't think that added that much to the show at all.
It didn't. She had conversations with the women that we barely saw. We saw a couple of them. Yeah.
So maybe if we saw more of her conversations, I would have cared. But since we didn't really, care about that.
Now, I don't know what the record is for how many women or men are kissed in the first episode, but there were 6. It was Vicky, Rose, Lydia, Alicia, Zoe, and Alex. 6 women that he kissed. I want to try to find out for next podcast what the record is on that.
Okay, we have to look. I feel like it might be Bob. Didn't Bob?
Really?
I feel like Bob macked down on everybody.
I don't like back then, 20 years ago, when Bob's season was on. They did not do as much kissing just right off the bat.
No, and you know what? Also, no one said I loved you.
Never.
The first person I feel like that did that was Ben Higgins, right? And he told 2 women that he loved them, or at least not on camera.
Yeah.
And now, I know you never usually watch the trailers.
I don't.
Right? So did you watch the trailer for the whole season?
I did.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's going to be very interesting. And we can talk about it obviously more in depth. But is he really that conflicted, or are they just really trying to create that drama? Because you do know that if you're on that show, that this person's dating all these other women, you do know they're going to get feelings. But at the very end, knowing that they said, I love you, and that they were that torn. I know that ended up being the breakup reason for, I forget what couple, I have to think about it. But yeah, that would be disturbing, right? Would that bother you?
It bothered me so much. And I know that some couples make an agreement, because we've heard this after the final rose, that they don't watch it. Some women or men are like, I did not go back and watch the season. Unfortunately, that is not what I would be able to do. I would have to watch all of it. And that would not sit well with me. If it's a sliding doors moment, right? Like, he just could make this choice and I can make this choice, and my entire fate, my destiny is in this man's hands. He could say, you know what I mean? Like, imagine that your life could have changed just based on the decision of this person. I mean,
down
that
to
close
the
to the
limo
end.
pulling up.
Down to the limo pulling up. Come on.
Now that's at least the way it's produced.
Correct. We don't know if that's the case.
We don't know if that's truly the case or not. And actually, I think it was Ben Higgins where him and the woman, I forget her name, broke up. Now she's married to a country music guy, because she could never get over the fact of him saying, I loved you, to 2 women. I always feel like, yes, of course we know they want it to seem like they're torn up. But if it's really that close down to the wire, I don't know. Yeah. Really?
Well, who do you think? I mean, let's do 3. Okay. Who do you think's in that limo? Who do you think this decision is between? Like, top 3. Do you have them already?
Okay, very early on, I'm going to say Alex, the drama llama, and Carolina. Also, I was thinking Rose. So definitely Rose, Carolina, and then Alicia.
Yeah, I've got Alex, Zoe, and Alicia. So we've got 2 in common there. You gave 4, I think. So you think Rose and Carolina, have a shot, which is great. But it looks like that between us, if we put our thoughts together here, our heads together, that we think Alex and Alicia are in that limo.
And I would say Rose over Carolina. I think
Okay.
Carolina's going to go for a while.
Yeah.
But I would say Rose over her.
Rose is pretty cute.
Dark horse, maybe Juliana.
Ooh, dark horse Juliana, because they're going to ride off into the bad singer-songwriter sunset. That was horrible. That was mean of me. I didn't mean it that way. I haven't heard either one of them play. I was just playing around. You have to go. You have an eye appointment.
Yes, I have to go get my old eyes treated.
Okay. Okay. This is the end of E1 of Bachelor season 29, I think. Is it season 29? Whatever. It's grand season, and we will put this up in a more timely manner for all of our listeners, which right now is just you and me.
Right.
We have two listeners, and it's you and me, which is great. We're my favorite listeners.
That's right. Yes,
Love it.
but we're gonna get more.
We're gonna get more.
We're gonna get
Okay.
more. Right.
All right. Love you, bestie.
Love you, bestie.